surrounded by others. They gave her a moment of peace in a chaotic and busy life. Thank God the exams are over, eh? The comment draws an earnest chuckle from both of the girls. It seems like everyone's been a lot happier since the exams ended last week. So, what are you doing for the summer holidays, Hanako? Only, I quickly count the days in my head. Today's Monday, the school finishes on Saturday. And school finishes on Saturday. 5 days to go, after all. I was thinking of traveling just around a bit. There's a lot of places I want to see, and I think I have enough money to pay for the bus and train rides. Naomi and one of the other girls in the newspaper club said they might come along too. Her look indicates she's given the matter quite a lot of thought. I'm kind of surprised that she's contemplating something like this. It seems she's really become intent on striking out on her own. Is there anywhere in particular you're thinking of going? I was thinking that Kyoto sounds nice. I think I'll try to go to a few places, though. Lily nods in approval, happy with Hanako's plans. While I cast my eyes to Lily, I refrain from asking her the same question. She's been evasive with her plans for the future for a long time now, but I never seem to get a good time to broach the subject alone with her. Every time it comes up in conversation, it feels like she's either unsure of herself or simply dodging the question. It's troubling. Be sure to call sometime while you're out and about. I gave you my number before, right? Hanako gives a quick nod, a happy smile on her face. It's strange to see how happy people seem to become when they have a good goal. They have a goal to work towards. Yuko seems to brighten whenever her university aspirations are brought up, and how Hanako is just about the same. So why do I still feel this uncertainty? And why Lily, too? Relationships really can be irritatingly troublesome sometimes. What time is it? Oh, it takes me a second to remember that Lily's clock doesn't have any visual feedback. I really should know, given how many times I've been in her room. Oh! Nevertheless, I take my watch from my bag and quickly check it. The reason for her asking becoming clear. It's about 20 past 10, nearly curfew. Hinako rises to her feet, dusting herself off and neatening her gown after doing so. I'd better be going, then. Good night, Lily. Hisao. Oh, okay. I double-clicked, so I wasn't sure. Sleep well, Hinako. See you tomorrow. With that, she walks to the door and quietly makes her exit. Ellipsis. Silence. This seems to be happening more and more between Lily and I recently. After a few seconds, I finally find something to talk about. Oh yeah, Dr. Mattel on Friday, and finally checked out some guides on college and how to apply for it. That's good news. If you're going to be applying for colleges, I assume you have some idea in mind of what you might do in the future? I think I've settled becoming a science teacher. It's going to take a while to get through university and everything to be qualified, but I think it'll be worth it. Lily's face brightens considerably at the news. I suppose, with her wish to become a teacher, she's delighted I'd take the same kind of path. So, you've decided on a career of teaching? I think that path suits you most excellently, Hisao. I smile and nod. This time, even if I know she can't see me doing it, I know she feels it. I imagine Mattel would have taken to the news well. That's one word for it. Hey, Lily? Yes. I know you want to be a teacher, but for a second, I wonder whether I should really ask her the question on my mind. But that's quickly brushed aside by the fact that this is rather late to have second thoughts. Surely you don't still think I'd be offended by something regarding my blindness. Her accusing tone is betrayed by her grinning face. Amused at my awkwardness in raising the topic. Some things never change. Good point, I guess. I was just thinking whether or not being blind would be a hindrance. What about with your ambitions to become a teacher and all? She looks mildly surprised before giving the question some thought. I refuse to think she's never actually pondered the issue before. I wonder, Hisao, could you close your eyes for a moment? Okay. Raising an eyebrow, I do as she requests. I have no idea what she has in mind. My question only increases as I peek out from one eye. Taking the black ribbon she usually wears in her hair from the cabinet beside her bed. She advances towards me while running it through running it through her fingers to remove any stray hairs staying on the piece of cloth. Ah! I suddenly click on to her intentions as I feel the black strip make contact with my face, wrapping around my head and over my eyes. What exactly is this for? It's a little test, this how. Since you seem to be wondering, I'll let you see things as I do it for a time. Huh, so that's what this is about. To be honest, this actually kind of sounds kind of fun. Childish and rather silly to anyone who would be watching, but a bit of silly fun never hurt anyone. I stand up with a heave, my hands quickly moving out in front of me to warn me of any obstacles. Okay, now what? Now touch me. If you say so, now then. I slowly make my way forwards towards the sound of Lily's voice. My walking speed could barely even be called a shuffle. The entire experience feeling alien enough that I don't want to risk inadvertently tripping over anything, such as her table or her haphazard piles of books. Oh god. Something soft yet solid brushes against my left leg. Further inspection reveals it to be Lily's bed. I move onwards, finding myself thankful that Lily's room is so neat and tidy. Even the piles of books she has are generally kept close to the wall, well out of harm's way. The hard wall pressing against my outstretched hands makes me furrow my brow in frustration. Hey Lily, where are you? What are you doing over there? I'm over here. Lily's voice comes from the other side of the room, far from where it was before, even to the untrained ears. If she's going out of her way to avoid me reaching her, then this is just a game to her? Of course it is. Compared to a life where even the concept of sight is an abstract one, a few minutes in a blindfold are nothing. I guess she's made her point. She's more than capable of navigating her room. And further, I've seen how independent she is, even when compared to many of the others in Yamaku. Well, even if this is just a game, I may as well play it wholeheartedly. With a pace much quicker than before, I move towards the source of her voice, deftly sidestepping the table in the center of her room thanks to remembering its position. I've got you now. She gives an impish giggle, one just long enough to work out that she's passing just beside me. I quickly turn around to face the new direction. The table wasn't there before. Ow, ow, ow! I slowly sit up next to the table, raising my blindfold as I rub my aching head. I give an irrational, irritated kick to the table that's sitting just in front of where I fell. Utterly pointless, but the thing deserved it. Hisao? Lily's still standing just to my side, obviously unsure of what's befallen me. Sorry, I kind of fell over. Are you hurt? My head hurts, but I think I'm okay. I think the table moved in order to trip me over. She giggles as she walks over and takes a seat beside me, her hand resting on my own. I suppose that's the end of that, then. I think so. But I also think I get the point, though I do wish it hadn't involved such a headache. Lily suddenly looks blank. Point? I return an extraordinarily flat look. That was just for fun? I just thought it might ease you up a little about the subject. You always seem to tiptoe around it, after all. In regard to teaching, sight isn't that important. There are plenty of classes taught by entirely blind teachers, and most of them more than enough resources for me to learn the subject. It's as simple as that, really. I slump my shoulders and give a snort of amusement. Yeah, I understand. I guess we'll both just have to work hard to reach our goals then. What is it? With a little hesitation, Lily pushes forward her chin and closes her eyes in an unmistakable gesture. Yay, kissy time. Anyways, I'm gonna stop there before we have like a sex scene on our hands. Because I take editing. Also, I'm really kind of worn out from this. I'm really worn out my voice and throat, and it'll be gone in a bit, but I don't think I'll be recording it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you later. Oh, wait, save. Derp. I always forget that. Out and about. So, 701? And 7:57. Wow, we were so close to... Hey Hey guys, what's up? Knife 50 here with some more Katawa Shoujo. We are almost done with this, and I actually googled for other cool visual novels, because I need a break after this. After I'm done with Lily's playthrough, I'm gonna take a break before I go to Rin's and then Hanako's. There might be another break between Rin's and Hanako's. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I can't remember, it's like Fate slash something. It's supposed to be action-based, which is kinda cool. But yeah, I'll probably start uploading that along with Katawa Shoujo, because even though it's a break for me recording it, doesn't mean that, because I still have a bunch to upload. I still have parts that are uploading daily, too. Whew. After this, we're gonna go record probably some more Fallout. And then, yeah. Okay. Back to this, anyways. Last time, they were alone in the room after Hanako? Jesus, no. Hanako. I guess you could pronounce it Hanako. Whatever. She left, so left us alone kissing me. So I stopped because I was like, I don't want to edit this in this scene. I'm gonna have to edit anyways, but here we go. I accept gladly, our lips touching. As they do, I suddenly feel her hand snaking up my chest from underneath my shirt. The feeling of her hand against my bare skin is enough to make my heart suddenly accelerate. So she's in that kind of mood again. Oh wow, I called it. Well, I'm hardly one to complain. Music's kind of, she does genuinely like this, and even with all of my medications, my libido is thankfully still intact. I lean into her kiss further, holding her hand tightly as I feel it tracing the contours of my chest. Eventually we break off from one another. The room's silent, but for our breathing. Okay. Hey, Hisao. Yeah? I don't suppose you could wear the blindfold again. Her tentative suggestion takes me by surprise. I suppose she wants to introduce me to sex through her eyes as well, or just wants to find out what I'll be like during the act while hampered by the blindfold. With a measure of unease tempered by curiosity, I do as she says and lower the blindfold over my eyes. The world becomes dark once again. I reflexively tense as I feel Lily's hand gently brush the side of my face, entirely unable to anticipate her touch. I really need to get more used to contact like this. Even after the weeks we've been going out, it isn't as natural for me as it is for her. Silence? Hey, Lily. Shh. I obediently follow her instruction and quietly listen, trying to make out anything that's happening around me. Compared to before when I was chasing Lily, the need to carefully navigate the room's obstacles now gone, I have to take my time and concentrate much harder on listening. It takes a while, but I can eventually pick out the soft sound of her breathing in the otherwise dead silent room. In, out, in, out. Measuring it against my own breathing, I realize it's definitely deeper than normal, especially for her. Another sound makes its way to my ears, one that I can't identify immediately. I don't think I've heard it before, but my heart skips a beat as I realize the source, my hand almost reflectively reaching out towards it. Her face feels softer than usual under my touch, her head just barely turning in acknowledgement towards the fingers on her cheek. Hisao? I gulp and take a moment to try and calm down. I need all the concentration I can muster while I'm like this in order to fully take in my surroundings. After a few deep breaths, I think I've managed to collect myself. With a touch so light that it wouldn't disturb a feather, I start to move my hand down her body. And I can feel myself losing focus again, thanks to those thin silken pajamas of hers resting so perfectly over the curves of her body. If she's like this, then that means she has to be sitting against her bed, facing me. Now to continue. Alright, this must be her hip. If I just move slowly downwards... Lily's breath catches as my hand comes over hers. tentatively following her fingers between her legs and losing them as they go underneath her underwear. Just the slightest moisture touches my fingertips, but it's enough to easily work out what she's doing. My mind suddenly fills with visions of what she must be like in front of me right now. I'd never even imagined her doing this before, and being unable to see her doing the act only enhances the mood. Oh. I worked the blindfold upwards, brushing out of my eyes a couple of hairs that were stuck to the ribbon before. For a period of time, I can only guess at. My mind goes completely blank. All I can do is stare at my newly freed eyes, taking everything in front of me. Well, just as I'd worked out, Lily sits in front of me, with one hand on the ground to steady herself, the other finger slightly brushing between her legs, hidden by her dark blue underwear. I think it's the most erotic sight I've ever seen. Once again, I reach out and brush her hair from her face, her chin tilting outwards as she fills her pleasure-wrapped body with another breath of air. Lily. Lily looks oddly cute as she smiles at my calling of her name. It always seems like it's at the moments when she's least attentive that she lets her most interesting emotions slip out. It's not long before she works her fingers over herself faster than before, her excitement evidently rising, the scent of her sweat in the air only echoing that fact. I sit in front of her. It's hardly as if my own arousal's holding still. It's taking every fiber of my body to let her continue by herself instead of pushing myself on top of her. It's strange. I'd initially found her clouded blue eyes to be distracting, almost disturbing in their lack of focus. That bothers me far less than it used to now. My attention refocuses on her as she lets out a whimper, her breath coming much faster than before, and her hips subtly rocking. If we could, I thought they were just going to have sex with a blindfold on, that would be great because I wouldn't have to edit. No sooner do I realize how close to the edge Lily's become, that her breath catches. Her eyes clap shut as every muscle in her body seems to contract, and she unmistakably reaches her climax. For only a scant few seconds she tightens, huddled in ecstasy over her body before her body relaxes, and a long drained sigh comes from her lips. I just have no idea what to say. Silence reigns while